Good evening. I am Chaplain David Clement, and I'm excited to be able to share with you through the Torrey Chapel Facebook page a short devotional today. On my mind today is the word integrity, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Yesterday, I was reminded of a promise that I made and didn't keep to Denzel Washington. That is a real person in my unit. And she is wonderful, and I made a promise to her, and I didn't keep it, and I felt really bad about it. And so the importance of making and keeping promises has been weighing heavily on my mind today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And so I want to start today by asking each of you, how important is it to you to be a man or woman of integrity, to keep your word? I think often we see so many examples of people who don't keep their word in popular culture, and that popular culture seems to want to paint this just super negative picture. And I know I see that today in the world, as well as I look at my Facebook feed and different news feeds where there's just seems like everybody's out to lie, everybody's out to steal and to cheat. But I don't think that's true. I think that throughout the world there are good people like me and you who know that you shouldn't cheat, that you shouldn't lie, and people from all different walks of life who have their integrity tested each and every day. And most of us make the difficult but correct choice. The problem is that not all of the examples are ever highlighted. We rarely hear about them. And one example that I love of integrity is the story of Andy Roddick. He's a pretty famous tennis player who in May of 2005 was playing in Italy, and he was in a Masters tournament there, and he was the favorite to win the tournament. That's how good he was. And he was in a match with Fernando Verdasco, and he almost looked like he won the match. He was having struggle returning Verdasco's serves, but this recent time it looked like the serve had gone out of bounds, and the umpire called it out of bounds. And that point meant that he had won the match. And Verdasco was coming up to the net to be able to shake Roddick's hand and say, "Good job, Roddick, you have won." But Roddick instead did something pretty amazing, and he called the umpire over and showed him on the ground and said, "Look, that ball that you called out of bounds was actually in bounds, and that point should not have been mine. It should have been Verdasco's." And so Verdasco made the best of his second attempt and actually went on to win the match and knock Roddick out. And sports writer Frank DeFord estimates that Roddick's honesty cost him at least tens of thousands of dollars, and perhaps even much more if he had gone on and won that tournament. Integrity was clearly more important to Roddick than either winning or money. Andy Roddick lost a match that day, but won something much more important. And in the process set a great example of sportsmanship for competitors around the world, and then integrity for the rest of us who aren't quite up there in that level of competition. And so can the same be said of each of us? I think it's so easy that maybe I'll just lie a little or cheat a little, slip a little here, or I don't maybe quite follow up on my commitments, walk away from our responsibility. Will others' lives be the same if we don't act in a manner that we know to be correct? I learned an important lesson on integrity when I was a youth. When I was a youth, I was with the scouting program, and every day we'd stand up and we'd quote the scout oath. And it starts, "A scout is honest, a scout is trustworthy, a scout is loyal." And I remember those things that made a big impact on me, that's how I needed to live my life. And I tried to do so every day. And I invite you to consider and to ask each of yourself, do I stand by my word? Do I keep my promises? Or are they sometimes half-hearted commitments like the one I gave to Denzel, casually made and hence easily broken? When I say to someone, "I will pray for you," do we do that? When we commit someone, "I will be there to help you," will we be? And today, more than ever, we need people who will keep their commitments, their promises. We need people to go out there and to help those around them. And so I hope that this short message encourage you to be a better person, that you'll try to rise above the craziness in today's world, that you'll help and reach out to those around you. The world needs it at this time, and I hope that we're able to do this. Thank you for joining today and listening to this short message. Snake Eyes Cross, signing out.